You might be owed hundreds of dollars right now, and you'd never know unless you check this website. I'm about to show you how millions of Americans are sitting on money that legally belongs to them, and the simple process to claim it in the next few minutes. Here's something that will blow your mind. Each year, states hold billions in unclaimed refunds from utility overpayments, forgotten paychecks, and closed accounts. We're talking about $58 billion just sitting in government coffers waiting for people to claim it. That's not a typo. $58 billion. And statistically, there's a good chance some of that money has your name on it. Most people have no idea this even exists. I certainly did until I stumbled across this a few months ago and found $340 that belonged to me from an old apartment security deposit ID completely forgotten about. So what counts as unclaimed money? It's way more than you'd think. We're talking about forgotten bank accounts, uncashed paychecks from old jobs, security deposits from apartments you moved out of years ago, insurance payouts, you never received utility overpayments, gift cards that expired, dividend checks that never reached you, and even contents from abandoned safe deposit boxes. Here's how it works. When companies can't reach you after a certain period, usually between 1 to 5 years depending on the state, they're legally required to turn that money over to the state government. It doesn't disappear, and it doesn't become the state's money to spend. It sits there, earning interest, waiting for you or your heirs to claim it. There's no time limit on most claims, which means money from decades ago could still be sitting there with your name on it. The crazy part? Most states spend more money trying to find people to give this money back to than they collect in fees. They genuinely want to return it to you. Let me walk you through exactly how to check if you have money waiting for you. First, go to unclaimed.org. That's the official website run by the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators. This isn't some sketchy third-party site trying to charge you fees. This is the real deal. Once you're on the site, you'll see a map of the United States. Click on your state, and here's a pro tip. Don't just check your current state. Check every state you've ever lived in, worked in, or had any financial dealings with. I found money in 3 different states, including one I'd only lived in for 6 months during college. When you click on your state, it'll take you to that state's official unclaimed property website. Now, search for your name. But don't just search for your current name. Search for any variation you've ever used. Maiden names, nicknames, names with and without middle initials, even common misspellings of your name. Companies aren't perfect at record keeping, and a simple typo could be the difference between finding your money or not. If you find a match, don't get too excited just yet. Click on the entry and look at the details. You'll see information like the company that turned the money over, sometimes partial addresses, and the approximate amount. This helps you figure out if it's actually yours or just someone with the same name. Now here's where it gets interesting. Claiming process varies by state, but it's generally pretty straightforward. Most states let you file a claim online. You'll need to provide proof of identity, like a driver's license or passport, and sometimes proof that you had a relationship with the company holding the money. This could be an old bank statement, utility bill, or employment record. Some states process claims in just a few weeks, while others can take several months. The bigger the claim, the more documentation they usually require. But here's the thing. There are no fees to claim your own money. If someone tries to charge you to claim unclaimed property, that's a red flag. Let me tell you about the types of money people commonly find. Bank accounts are huge. You had a checking account at a bank that got bought out by another bank, and somehow the transition wasn't smooth. You had a savings account you opened as a kid and forgot about. I know someone who found an old CD their grandmother had opened for them that had been earning interest for 15 years. Payroll is another big one. Final paychecks from jobs you quit or got laid off from, especially if you moved and didn't update your address. Commissions, bonuses, expense reimbursements. If a company couldn't deliver your last paycheck, it goes to the state. Security deposits are everywhere. Apartment deposits, utility deposits when you first set up service, deposits for rental equipment you returned years ago. I found money from a cable company deposit from an apartment I lived in 8 years ago. Then there are insurance payouts. Life insurance policies where the beneficiary couldn't be located, auto insurance overpayments, health insurance refunds, court settlements where they couldn't find you to deliver the check, royalty payments for mineral rights you might have inherited and never knew about. The most surprising category is safe deposit boxes. When people stop paying the rental fee and can't be contacted, the contents eventually get turned over to the state. We're talking about jewelry, coins, bonds, and yes, sometimes cash. Here's something most people don't know. You can also search for deceased relatives. If your parents, grandparents, or other family members have passed away, they might have unclaimed property that you could be entitled to as an heir. The process is a bit more complex because you need to provide documentation proving your relationship and possibly death certificates, but it's definitely worth checking. Now, there are some legitimate companies that will help you claim unclaimed property for a fee, typically around 20 to 40% of whatever they recover. While this isn't necessarily a scam, you can do everything they do yourself for free. The only time it might make sense to use these services is if the paperwork is extremely complex, or if you're reclaiming property from a deceased, it's a relative, and the inheritance laws are complicated. One thing to watch out for are the fake websites that look official but aren't. Always make sure you're on your state's official website. The URLs usually end in .gov, and they won't ask for credit card information or upfront fees. Also be aware that some states have started allowing you to claim smaller amounts. It's usually under $50, with just basic identity verification. But for larger amounts, they're going to want more documentation. This is actually a good thing because it prevents fraud. Here's my challenge for you. After you finish watching this video, go to unclaimed.org right now. Don't bookmark it for later. Don't tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow. Do it now. Search your name in every state you've ever lived or worked in. Search your parents' names, your spouse's name, even your kids if they're old enough to have had financial accounts. The whole process takes maybe 30 minutes, and there's a decent chance you'll find something. Even if it's just $20 or $50, that's money that legally belongs to you. And who knows, you might be one of those people who discovers they're owed hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Search your name at unclaimed.org. Your money could be waiting, and now you know exactly how to get it back.